I'm Suri Gumi, the Director of Marketing at BizPortals, and I'm joined by Anil Gursahani, our Solutions Lead, and Surendra Dudani, our VP of Product. And we're very glad to have you for this 45-minute webinar. In today's webinar, we were going to show you what an Employee Hub is, its useful and powerful features, and how to turn your Office 365 into an Employee Hub. So an Employee Hub is a powerful tool slash portal that helps make your and your fellow employees' working life simpler, more productive, and more engaged. It helps reduce time-consuming busy and administrative work, reduces burden on HR and IT, provides employees with self-help and self-service tools, improves collaboration and communication, increases productivity, and modernizes the way your business employees work. Yes, it does all of that, and you will see how today. And such an Employee Hub that we will describe and show you can easily be created using your Office 365 or even SharePoint. And that's what this webinar is about, and we're going to illustrate all of this in detail in our webinar today. So without further ado, let's jump into the agenda. Our agenda will be as follows. First, we're going to give you a quick intro into who we are. Second, we will define exactly what we mean when we say Employee Hub and the capabilities and features an Employee Hub should have. And then third, we will talk about how to turn your Office 365 into an Employee Hub. And then fourth, Anil will show you a real-life example of an Employee Hub on Office 365 by showing you our turnkey intranet and digital workplace solution for Office 365. BizPortals 365 is the product. And BizPortals 365 instantly connects and sits on turning your Office 365 into an Employee Hub, and we will talk more about this in our webinar. And then finally, we will end with some Q&A, so you can ask any question on what we cover, as well as general Office 365 questions. We can help with any of your Office 365 or SharePoint needs. And then we'll try to leave about 5 minutes for Q&A at the end, but please ask questions throughout the presentation. If we don't have time to get to your question during the webinar, we'll certainly follow up with you via email. And please note that your microphone is on mute, so please use the chat inside the GoToWebinar toolbar to ask your questions. So for quick intros, again, I'm Suri Gumi, the Director of Marketing at BizPortals Solutions. Prior to joining BizPortals, I was a management consultant at PricewaterhouseCoopers, focused on digital strategy and digital transformation. I'm joined by Surendra, our VP of Product Development and Head Architect. He's an entrepreneur who brings over 30 years of building companies and products that provide advanced, cost-efficient software solutions, and he can address any of your product or technical questions that you have. Then we have Anil Gursahani, who's our Solutions Lead and our on-the-ground general. He leads our customer implementation. He has over 12 years of experience building and implementing SharePoint-based solutions and is an Office 365 expert. And then as company BizPortals Solutions, we are a full-service Office 365 and SharePoint shop based in Orange County, Southern California, with offices in Boston and India. I mentioned that we have our BizPortals 365 product, which is a turnkey digital workplace tool for Office 365. So we have a product development team, and we also provide implementation, customization, deployment and planning, and other Office 365 and SharePoint consulting services. We have over 15 years of experience developing digital workplace, intranet, and SharePoint solutions. So Microsoft platforms as a whole. Our customers common work with work and team and departments within larger businesses. Finally, we've been Microsoft Gold partners for over 15 years as well. So to start off, I wanted to share some common challenges that employees and businesses, including our customers, face. This will provide some context to what an Employee Hub is and does as it solves these common challenges. First, employees lack central, simple, easy-to-use tools that make their lives easier and more organized. Also, tools that they use are not all in one place in one unified experience. So they have to go to many different places, so to speak, to get work done. And on a daily basis, this is very cumbersome. They also often lack access of up-to-date information, whether it's an inability to find the latest and greatest version of a document, access to updated HR policies, access and distribute reports from your existing business systems, employees often lack the access to information they need when they need it. And then they often spend too much time finding information, whether it's scouring through emails or personal and shared folders. Estimates say employees spend 1 to 2 hours a day just searching for information and updated documents, and that time really goes unnoticed. So a trouble for productivity there. And they're also burdened with admin tasks and manual processes, whether it's submitting HR and admin forms or other manual forms. Employees are inundated with unnecessary busy work that blocks their productivity. And they lack mobility. Employees lack anytime, anywhere access to the information they need for work. So, you know, I'm sure many of these challenges are also ones that you face, and an employee hub absolutely addresses these challenges. So that brings us to an employee hub. So what is an employee hub? Simply put, an employee hub is one central place, portal, that employees go to search, find, and access the information, people, and importantly, the tools they need to get work done and to be more productive. Specifically, here are the capabilities and features that Employee Hub should have. One, it should house up-to-date information, all information, whether it's company or team documents, news, announcements, projects, calendars, etc. All of these are stored in the Employee Hub. And importantly, it should be easy to add, edit, and distribute all of these different types of content. And with everything organized in one place, searching and finding information and the latest documents is very easy with powerful search that can search across all content, projects, news, and events housed inside the Employee Hub. Two, it should also automate workflows. Automating workflows obviously helps employees save time from doing time-consuming manual tasks. Multi-stage workflows like inventory updates, formula reviews for a manufacturing company, or general approvals from your manager or HR can be automated. And these, of course, can be extended to any industry or business and can easily be customized to your needs. You can also automate and bring in workflows from different systems such as ERPs, CRMs, sales and finance, and so on. So the things an Employee Hub can automate are vast. Importantly, it must provide self-service tools. Self-service tools are those that help employees undertake tasks without depending on others, such as HR and IT. Self-service tools include those that help with admin tasks, such as office forms and forms management, for common everyday tasks such as expense reimbursements, time off requests, and requests for purchases, which businesses still rely on paper forms and manual approvals for. These tasks and forms can be digitized and automated. HR type tasks so that employees can easily find the company's up-to-date policies and procedures, access self-help and development training videos, or even onboarding help for new employees, all of which decrease the burden and dependence on HR resources. And then IT type tasks for employees to submit IT service tickets and requests. Self-help can also be used for the Employee Hub itself or other company tools with frequently asked questions or how to type information in videos. So there are plenty of self-help tools an Employee Hub can provide depending on your needs, and these are just a few examples. And then Employee Hub should also help manage your day-to-day work, from managing your work and documents to managing your projects and tasks to managing your and your employees' performance. An Employee Hub can be a comprehensive workplace solution. Then it must also provide collaboration tools. An Employee Hub has team sites for within-team and cross-team execution. It has dedicated sites or workspaces based on team, project, location, or however you want to facilitate the work and collaboration that needs to be done. It also provides useful and more efficient ways of communicating between people and teams. For example, you can integrate project discussions with Yammer on Office 365. And then equips you for mobility as more work happens remotely while traveling from home, and information continues to be increasingly necessary to access information on mobile devices. Mobility is a key for business productivity now. And modern Employee Hubs provide access from anywhere, anytime on any device while employing enterprise-grade security. And last but not least, an Employee Hub must boost your employee engagement. Often overlooked, but the more employees are engaged with their work and with the company and are in the know of what's going on, the more happy and productive they are. And you can keep them engaged with an Employee Hub by making it easy to use. The easier it is to use, the more people will use it, and the more people use it, the more informed and organized they will be, and that translates to efficiency and productivity. Also, an Employee Hub provides a way to give employees quick and important on-the-spot feedback and recognition with communication and performance management tools within the Employee Hub. So these are key features of an Employee Hub and the capabilities and benefits they can provide to any business. So now let's see how you can use Office 365 to turn an Employee Hub to do everything that I just discussed. You can turn your Office 365 into Employee Hub with three main components: one, SharePoint; two, other key Office 365 tools; and three, your existing external business systems that you're currently using. So for the first port, SharePoint. You can use SharePoint as a core engine and portal for your Employee Hub. Then with SharePoint, you can bring in, access, and interact with key Office 365 tools. And here are some key Office 365 tools you should be using. Outlook for email integration, so you can get email notifications on important news, document updates, or approval requests. You have OneDrive for your central file storage and sharing, rather than saving documents on your personal computer. Microsoft Teams for real-time chat for quicker and more collaborative team communication. Yammer for project-related discussions and brainstorming. Skype for your virtual meetings and video calls. Planner for an easy task management tool. And Power BI to make data and reports easy to understand with graphs, visuals, and executive dashboards to make critical business insights. And then Delve to bring relative and frequently used information and documents to your fingertips. So these are the main Office 365 tools that you should be using for your Employee Hub. And then the third component is your existing business systems and applications. You can bring in and distribute reports, create executive dashboards, and automate workflows from different systems. For ERP, for example, you can automate the review and approvals for formula reviews if you are a process manufacturing company. For CRM, you can create and bring in pipeline reports and sales dashboards. So just a couple of examples. So this is conceptually what a powerful Employee Hub on Office 365 looks like, and we will show you a real-life example shortly in the demo. So some key considerations for an Employee Hub on Office 365. Offer self-service tools. An Employee Hub really must be employee-centric and should serve your employees in their most common day-to-day tasks and pain points. So consider the self-service needs of your employees. Also, to be employee-centric, your Employee Hub should be and provide a simple, easy, and intuitive user experience to make it easier for your employees, drive their productivity, engagement, and user adoption. So that's a key point there. And then use Office 365 tools that you need. There are many useful and powerful Office 365 tools in its ecosystem, but your business may only need a few of these. So understand what these tools are and what they do, and use only the tools that you need. And then make it a cohesive workplace solution. All of your information, tools, Office 365 tools, existing business systems in one place provides a central destination that your employees go to for their daily work. So consider having your Employee Hub unified in one cohesive, comprehensive workplace solution. And then finally, understand your options for an Employee Hub, as there are a few ways to implement an Employee Hub for your company. And then speaking of options, you have three main options for creating an Employee Hub on your Office 365. Option one, the first one is for many businesses, the status quo. You can continue to use the tools you're currently using, and maybe you have Office 365 but are not using it to its full benefit, and maybe you already have a tool like an Employee Hub, but it is outdated and doesn't integrate, bring together, and simplify all of these different tools and systems. So the benefit of this, of course, is it doesn't require any additional investment to maintain the status quo, but really you're probably wasting time on using different tools or losing money in the form of inefficiencies and lost productivity that an Employee Hub on Office 365 addresses. Then option two is to turn and configure your Office 365 into an Employee Hub yourself. You can customize the UI, how it looks, and exactly what features you want to the T. However, doing so can be costly and time-consuming to configure. It takes a lot of time to plan the specifics and requirements to build an Employee Hub, and requires Office 365 and SharePoint skills, and involves some coding. Then you need the IT to support and maintain the Employee Hub, because an Employee Hub can easily become outdated. If you have the dollars, time, and skills to customize and configure your Office 365 and SharePoint, this may be the way to go. But if you, like most businesses, don't have the time, dollars, and resources, there is some good news. A key takeaway in this webinar is that there are turnkey, ready-to-go Office 365 solutions like our BizPortals 365 that do the work for you. And this is option 3. Such solutions are easy to use, don't require any special skills or IT resources to set up and maintain. We do the maintenance for you, and they are quick to set up within days and are cost-effective. You may not be able to get it customized 100%, but 80 to 90% of your needs can be met with a turnkey solution like BizPortals 365. And in return, you get the quick ROI with minimal investment and with minimal support and resources needed, as you essentially get cost-free technology and feature updates. So this is the option. Would be the way to go for most businesses. So I just shared quite a bit of information. Please continue to ask your questions. Now Anil will help us see and visualize all of this with a demo.
Thank you, Suri. That is a great presentation, a lot of information, obviously, for everyone. Welcome, everyone. My name is Anil Gosani, and I'm a solutions lead here at BizPortals Solutions. And what I'm going to show you now is a quick overview of our ready-to-go intranet solution. So you can see my screen again. If you have any questions, please put that in the chat window, and we'll be happy to reply to that either during the webinar or after that via email. All right. So if you have, the assumption that I'm going to make is most of you have Office 365. You're attending this really to see how you can extend the value of your investment in Office 365. So with that, and if you don't have Office 365, it's a great time to go out and migrate over to that. So with Office 365, what you really get is a bunch of tools which are great. Obviously your email, chat communications with Yammer, as Sudi explained earlier, some project management capabilities with Planner, and so on. So how do you really give your employees a cohesive, unified experience rather than having them to go to different tools and use those? So what we have done is really come up using SharePoint platform. We have designed BizPortals 365, which really integrates into the Office 365 environment, as you can see here. So it's part of the SharePoint framework, and all your employees can just start using this intranet. Okay, so what you see in front of you is a home page. Let's go ahead and talk about information distribution and content publishing. There is a lot of content out there, a lot of information, either in documents, emails, and how do you really get that to your employees? And how do you really publish that easily and get it into the hands of your employees at the right time? So one thing you can do is we have a functionality here called corporate alerts. Again, you can call it, you can change this to company alerts, whatever you want. But essentially, alerts are a good way of distributing some real-time key information. So as you can see in this demo, there are 3. So anything to do with your facilities administration, IT staff can come and put some information here. The way of publishing this, again, you see this icon really all over the homepage. Great way to publish information, go to settings. It's as easy as clicking on a plus sign and adding information right here. You can send notifications of this alert by email to everyone. You can choose not to. Either way, you can put an expiry date, very important for alerts, so that people don't see expired information or old information out there. So you can set up an alert here, and then users coming in here can simply click on this and they'll get the details of the alert. Okay, so very easy to set that up. Moving on to news and announcements. Again, if you're a company, if you're SMB or you're a large organization, let's say you have a couple of locations, How do you distribute that information? Emails, people don't necessarily read emails. Everyone's inbox is just full with things. You want important information in the hands of your employees. Great way to do that by putting in news and announcements, again, for the users. Very easy and a similar user interface just as alerts. You could go to settings, and if you had the access to publish this, you would click on the plus sign and simply put your title, summary, description. Again, expiry date, you can put an image on this and publish the news and announcements. So again, for consumers of this information, they would come here, click on it, and they would get access to that. Okay, so very easy to do that. Moving on down, let me just take you to a couple of other things. Let's see the Spotlight feature. Now, this is used not only for employee recognition, but also if you wanted some other, important news about an employee, you wanted to distribute that, you could use this feature here. So again, similar interface to add information, and clicking on this would bring you to the whole article. Okay, so very simple, easy to use. Does SharePoint inherently give you this functionality? No, it doesn't. And that's why the ready-to-go intranet that we have designed, we have really kept the user interface in mind, usability, and made sure that these things are easy for employees. We have another section called Corporate Calendar here. Now, going to Outlook, most of you, again, I'm assuming if you're on Office 365, you use Microsoft Outlook, you have multiple calendars here. We could really either use those calendars, bring that here, but out of the box, we have our own calendar. So you could see all calendars, or you can choose which calendar you want to look at. So holiday calendar, we have out of office, time of request. So as users are using, putting in information, that could be displayed right on the calendar. So you can see that right here. All right, very important for employee engagement, social collaboration, for employees to feel part of a team. We have given functionality, birthdays, work anniversaries can be published here. So when users come in, they can quickly see here and, go ahead and wish the employees or their core team members right there. You could search for employees. Again, if you're part of a large organization, it's particularly helpful. You can look up for people by their name. Again, all of this is integrated with your Office 365 user account. So as soon as you enable them, for the portal, they'll start showing up here. So you can toggle between the users. You can contact them by phone, email, and so on right from here. So this is part of what Sudhi mentioned in terms of ready-to-go intranet, really housing up-to-date information. So this was part of that. I will get into more on the information distribution in as far as HR is concerned in a little bit. The second point that was mentioned was an employee hub really automates the workflow of business forms, business processes. What we have done is, again, identified about 8 to 10 forms. So basically, these are digital forms for employees, and they could come in here and start filling this out. Obviously, you've seen time of request forms, very simple forms, and as helpful. I think one of the most key ones is a IT help desk, because that's how small companies, let's say 10 to 50 employees, they'll have one IT staff. Again, emailing that person, trying to, send that information over is cumbersome, and on that person also, you'll get lost with all the help desk cases around. So great for employees to easily fill in their case here, and we provide all these fields. These are out-of-the-box fields. Again, we understand that every company has their own requirements, and we can work with you to customize some of these fields and values when we are onboarding you on the solution. So employee can come in, fill a help desk case, fill a time of request. We have given some requests for purchase requests, very important, almost used in every company. And these are out-of-the-box forms that we provide. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about the workflow around these forms. If you're using Office 365, you must have heard of Microsoft Flow. which is really one of the apps here, depending on your subscription level. That is really built for workflow. So we have used that technology and we have enabled all our forms. So let's say we are logged in as Alex, who's part of HR. He fills in a time of request. Okay, so this is a form, and he's going to go ahead and he just fills in. I'm going to pick a date far out, and let me quickly do that. So he's going to fill in a time of request. It's of type vacation for 8 hours, and he's just going to submit it. Now, what we do out of the box is provide a multi-stage workflow. So as soon as he submits this, it's going to go to his reviewer, that is Isaiah, who is his boss, and he's just going to go ahead and submit this. He'll get a message right here saying that it was successfully initiated. So now the form is being sent from Alex, and it's in the hands of Isaiah. So let me go ahead and show you the view for Isaiah. So you're logged in as Isaiah. He comes in. He'll obviously get an email notification that there's a new form waiting for him, and then he'll be able to quickly go into the form center. And you can see there are 2 tabs, My Forms. There are no forms for Isaiah, but to approve, there are a couple of forms here for him. So he can quickly open one of the forms, and again, he can look at the details, and let's say he approves it. Okay, and then the next stage in the workflow the form could go to HR or an administrator, depending on your company business processes. And then similarly, now I'm logged in as the administrator here. He would get similar view of the form center, and he could go ahead and approve the forms and finally take it to completion. So this was just a small example of a form going through the workflow cycle. So out of the box, we have multi-stage workflow. Again, we understand that business processes could be different, and we can work with you to customize these forms. Okay. As Sudhi also mentioned, we have a light version of a goal performance management really for employees. And if you're really interested in learning more about this, you could contact us individually. We could walk you through, but essentially we have a light version of a performance management solution built in also. So, if you have quarterly goals in your company, great place to get started. Employees could fill their goals here. It would go to their manager for review, and then at the end of the quarter, you could do an assessment of those goals. So we have that built in here too. All right, let's talk about self-service now. So for employees, really the concept of self-service, the most important thing I think is, an employee center where employees can go in, get information rather than, again, going up, walking to HR or emailing them. You have a real built-in employee center. Employees can come in here, get a lot of information. That is all the HR policies, procedures, and so on. So let me show you right from the top here, top left. We could publish, in fact, HR could publish training videos, right, for their employees. And we have a web part here where you can stream a video. So as you can see, it's about to play. So employees come in, they don't have to have an external play. They could just see the training video right here. And this is tightly integrated with Office 365 video app. So HR could come, they could manage the content really using the video web part, and then you can just stream it using our web part here. You can also have external video from YouTube, Vimeo, other players, and you could just link those videos right in this. There is a news and announcements. So what you saw earlier was company alerts and corporate alerts and corporate news and announcements. This is specifically just for employees. So you could put in a news and announcements, namely, again, this is for demo purposes. So if there's a fitness program in your company, you could have that listed here. A new employee joins, you could have that message also displayed. Okay. All right. Now we come to one of the most important sections of an employee hub. So one thing is to have this information, but really how do you make it easy for your HR department to publish that information? What you see here under quick launch This is totally customizable. This is just done for demo purposes, but essentially you could have an employee onboarding facility, and you can put in information here. All you need to do is for a new employee to get give him a login into the portal, and he could just get started with reviewing all this information, looking and looking at training videos and so on. For existing employees, you could have other insurance related, travel related info all over. So this section here is really one of our main I think advantages of our portal. This is not done through SharePoint. You just cannot go ahead and customize to give this kind of experience to your employee. What we have done is used other technologies. We really paid attention to the usability and made this very easy for people to publish this information. Again, you see this little icon here. It's very simple. If you had the privileges, you could go ahead and really customize this view, add calendar items, contacts, bring in document links, forms. All of these things can be just done at the employee center level, and you can customize this totally. Okay. All right. Contacts, again, this is information. You can keep some key contacts of the company here. Then there are, we also provide a photo gallery of some events. You have company events. You can publish these pictures so your employees can take a look at that. In terms of self-help, going back, in fact, I did talk about the IT service ticket, so IT help desk, so that would be great. What we also provide is a knowledge base and help for each web part. So let me just talk about that, because when you start using a new tool, what is most important for your employees is that they should get the help rather than contacting your administrator for help. So we have provided help on each web part. Again, I'm going to click on one of these. Let's see if it comes up. Yes, it does. So here, an employee can quickly read about the functionality that is provided and some examples here and get help here. Now, we also provide a lot of knowledge base articles. Again, this is for the product, but just think of this. This can be extended. You could change this. You could really make your own knowledge base for company policies, procedures, and you can build your own knowledge base and provide it to your employees. Okay. All right. Looking at the next section, it's all about managing, helping employees managing their day-to-day work. A lot of employees obviously work with documents. So since we are talking about the employee center, let me just take you to a document center, okay, right here. So now this is a view of the documents housed in the employee center. So most of these would be familiar to you. If you look at this, you have some agreements, you have some plans, policies here. So HR can put all this in, and it's for employee consumption, basically. So employees coming in here, they could search, because you could have 50, 100 documents. So let's say an employee comes in and searches for some insurance related. You can search in not only in the title of the document, but also the content of the document. So let me go ahead and click title, and it would quickly give you all the documents with the word insurance in the title, or you could search for content also. So very powerful search functionality built in to look at documents. Now with Office 365 users, what you also must be using or must be familiar is OneDrive. So let me just go to OneDrive and show you here that with your login, so once you log in into OneDrive, apart from your own files, recent files, and you can share with other people, what you see below here on the left side is really all the document libraries of a ready-to-go intranet directly exposed in OneDrive. So we were talking about Employee Center, and if I click on documents, all the documents that you saw on the intranet page, you can see it in OneDrive. So it's tightly integrated. So it's great. If you were, as I'm logged in as Alex, he's part of the HR department, he could take a file that he worked on simply from here, that is his personal file, and take one of these and drop it into the Employee Center. It's very easy. So you can use OneDrive to really interact with your documents. You don't have to be in the intranet. Okay. All right. Now for employees, again, the key thing to also remember is, apart from working on forms, apart from working on documents, most of the employees in most organizations, they work on projects, right? Small projects could be, 10 tasks, 20 tasks. So just giving you a very brief overview of the projects, let me take you a little digression into a marketing department site. So here is a marketing department. Again, you see this is for team collaboration, marketing team, and you have, again, for consistency, we have the videos. You could publish videos for your department. You have news and announcements. What we do in a department site is an ability to, again, give you some lists here, basically action items, task lists for the marketing department. You can populate this with tasks. You have a list view. You can see this in a pie chart view. This is great functionality, again, not available out of the box. It's very difficult to set all this up. So we give you all these features. We continuously keep on enhancing our intranet functionality. So some of these are beta features. You can see that, and you don't have to worry about those as you get upgraded. Once you're a customer, we keep adding new features and so on. So you could have action items, again, same view for the pie charts and so on. Okay, so this is a marketing department, but we were talking about projects. So let me just take you into another view. Within the marketing department, employees can come in here, and you have a portfolio view of projects. So very easy to get into these projects. There are 2 right now going on, and to show you a view of a project, I'm going to click on a particular one, and this is a view of a project. So if you remember, we not only provide you employee-related functionality, as I told you earlier about goal and performance management, light performance management. We provide you project management that is integrated into our intranet. It is a light version, but very effective for your employees. So here is a project site. Great summary of the project, how many days are remaining, how many open issues, tasks, news and announcements. You go down, scroll down, you can get to the description, you can publish that, goals and objectives, and you can track a project by action items and tasks. Again, all this is customizable. So when we work with you to onboard you, either you can use these things out of the box, or we can help you customize these, and most of this is configurable by you. It doesn't have to be any program written by us. But we would train you on how to customize these lists. Every project comes with a library, again, as you saw in the Employee Center. Okay, so in terms of team collaboration, we have, as I showed you, marketing sites. I showed you projects here. We do have project discussions here, which is really our functionality that we have here. So it's basically, instead of sending emails to your project team, you could just get into a project discussion right here. However, if you are used to using Yammer for chats and so on, we can integrate this right into your project sites. Okay, so this was, in a nutshell, what an employee hub really means is really taking all of these apps of Office 365, using SharePoint framework, and designing a ready-to-go intranet solution, which serves as a great employee hub for you all. If you have any questions, please put that in the chat window. We'll be happy to reply to those. Let me go ahead and pass this back to Suri. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Anil. Before we go to Q&A, if you have more questions about our BizPortal 365 product, want to see more of the product and its features in a one-on-one demo, or want to sign up to start using it, please contact us at the email and phone number to the right. And we are offering a special and exclusive promotion for our webinar attendees. If you sign up for BizPortals 365 in the next 30 days, we will sign you up to our enterprise pricing plan of $5 per user per month, and our regular plan for businesses with 250 employees or fewer is $10 per user per month. And now we will go to some Q&A with Surendra.
Thank you, Sudhi. That was a good presentation. I hope you got a pretty good overview of the product and all the information about Employee Hub, Office 365. Our objective is, of course, to make sure that you have all the tools you need for your business success. In this presentation, we had several questions, a variety of questions. I'll try to squeeze some of them. If I don't get to your questions, not to worry, we'll respond to your questions by email. And if you think of any questions later, we'll be happy to entertain all the questions. Just email us at bizinfo@bizportals.com. Let me start with the first question. First is, your product has a lot of features, but we don't have Office 365. Can you help us get started? Good question. Yes, we of course assist our customers in all ways to get you onto Office 365. There are many plans offered by Microsoft. You can go to their website to check the subscription pricing and let us know if you need any assistance. We'll be happy to guide you through the process. The next question is, we have work in progress to construct policies and create documents and requires a lot of sharing. Does sharing documents work in your portal? Very good questions. There are many ways of sharing a document in SharePoint itself. First, you can create a library in any team site and provide access to a team. The team can then have a place to store and retrieve a document from one known place. If you want to share an individual document, you can email a link to the document instead of copying the document. Because if you send a link, then the person viewing the document will always see the recent version. You can also explicitly share a document for viewing and editing with someone outside the team who does not have full library permission to get into the library. Our next question is, will our information be secure in the cloud because it relates to employees? Again, good question. Many people have security concerns, especially when you hear about hacking and all sorts of things happening on the internet. So Microsoft has ensured that the security provisions cover all information, whether generated in email, SharePoint, OneNote, or in Office created files, and it meets all the security provisions. For example, antivirus, anti-spam, and anti-malware are all part of Office 365 package. All email is scanned for these functions with Exchange Online protection. So email is encrypted, for example, and while it is also in transit, it's encrypted. So there are many security provisions, including stringent requirements about health data. If you are involved in health insurance, health-related company, and so it's a huge topic, and there's a wealth of information provided by Microsoft on that topic. So that's one part of the security in the cloud, but also there is other side of it, which is what happens in the site when the information about employees is kept. So for privacy and personal related information, SharePoint provides additional protections. You can have permissions for each site. So the site can have an owner, and We can restrict access to only a few people or all the people, depending on how it is used. So that's one level. And then you have also securities on the document specifically, whether a document is visible, whether a document is editable by someone, and you can provide a whole bunch of different levels of permissions that you can provide for each document or a document library. So that I think we have a few more questions, but unfortunately we are running out of time. So we will close our session now, and we will respond with the email all the rest of the questions. Thank you very much for attending the webinar. I hope you got wealth of information, good information, and hope your time was well spent. Thank you very much.